Arnold Copelson, John Daly, England, put up the money. That was quite something. I couldn't get the money for 10 years, and a British company finally put it up and took a chance. Grandiose opening invocation, sort of something from the Iliad or the Odyssey, but it's the Bible. I felt would be, rejoice, O young man, rejoice in thy life, in the days of thy youth. We put a lot of dust in there. It was hard to get this airport in the Philippines, in Manila, outside Manila. And we also get the planes. We didn't have a lot of money to make the movie, about $6 million, so it was all struggling. We got this gigantic plane through barter, and coming out of the belly of the whale, it was the first memory of a lot of my memory over there in Vietnam. When I arrived in September 1967, September 15th to be precise, it was my 21st birthday. Came out of these big planes on the way inland, actually from Cameron Bay back into places like Cu Chi. This would probably be like arriving at Cu Chi, or it could be from Cu Chi up to Dao Tiang, which was the third Brigade base camp where I was based in the rubber plantation, Michelin rubber plantation. Near the Cambodian border, not far from it. This, I remember seeing bodies coming out as we arrived. Various places, there'd always be bodies moving back. And obviously you can see that the guys that came into Vietnam were replacements. They just filtered out for these dead people. They would be sent to the units where these dead people had come from. So we were all broken up when we arrived. Very few of us stayed together. From basic training, advanced training, or anything. We just were separated. Here's the returning veterans, and I looked for a man with a death's head. Crossing dollies, I remember we did that at the airport. That was an interesting shot. And Adagio by Samuel Barber sort of came about because we wanted a noble theme, a solemn theme, an austere one. And in the temp dub, while we were editing the film, we cut it to Barber. We asked our composer, Georges Delarue, French composer who worked with François Truffaut, to follow this style of this. And he worked very hard, Georges, and worked very difficult hours to match the majesty of Barber, but it's impossible. We ended up using much of George's music in the movie, and we'll see that later, but this opening theme could not be matched, so we went with the Adagio from the temp dub, and we left it into the final. I wanted to introduce the men in the platoon in this sequence, quiet silence of the jungle moving through bush. Men fell, men slipped, men cut themselves. It's hard to move through bush, and I wanted to establish that this is a young point man, Charlie Sheen. He never been around, doesn't know much, and he's cutting point practically the first day. It's happened to me, and it represents sort of the demoralized state of this unit, too. They would put a guy who really didn't have much experience up on point. These are flank guys. They're out there on the flank. These guys are M79s, you see M60s, you see M16s. It's the faces of the young guys that is important too, because that's why I made all these troops go through 2 weeks of jungle training with Captain Dale Dye. They're our technical advisor. I wanted them to not sleep for 2 weeks essentially, and to really feel what it was like to live in the earth next to in the jungle, to get the smell of the jungle, no showers, no sleep. By the time they started to work here, these are one of the first scenes we shot. They were really pissed off, these troops. Pissed off at me, pissed off at the world. They were hungry. So it was a great experience. You can't take an actor and just make him into an infantryman like that. You need to have a context.
Get a move on, boy.
Charlie's beginning to just fall apart here. You can see the state that he's getting into, where you just get so exhausted. You don't even see what's in front of you, and the 6 inches in front of your face are gone. He smells death here. You smell it before you see it. It's a dead Vietnamese soldier. Could be NVA, could be Viet Cong.
Hey, boy, what you waiting for?
That's Sergeant Barnes, who is his platoon sergeant. He walks right behind him. And gave him a hard time. Gave me a hard time, too. Set up the tension of the jungle, silence, the smell, the feel. All these young actors were really a pleasure to pick. They were Johnny Depp, Forrest Whitaker. They all moved on to do something with their lives, and this was like almost their first or second film roles. And it was just great to be with a bunch like this. It was sort of my fantasy of a John Sturges picture, like Magnificent Seven or something, but with youngsters. And I kind of sensed that these guys would be around for some years, and it would be a pleasure to sort of have known them in their youth. Tom Berenger had been on a downslide, I think, on TV stuff, and it was a pleasure to work with him. And it's fine. I always felt he was a rugged guy, and I was able to work with him and get his tougher side out there.
Gardner, get your ass up the hill, you fat fuck.
They feel lost in this jungle. They're wandering like ghosts in a landscape. There's no much sense of purpose or destination, or like in the World War II or Korean pictures, you know, you're going someplace, you have a mission. Here, the mission is basically just to keep walking. Red ants, black ants. Black ants were actually worse bite than red ants, but they plagued us all the time. And Willem Dafoe is Sergeant Elias is interesting, also cast against type, because Berenger had been sort of the good guy, and I basically made him a little more darker. And Willem here had been playing thugs and terrorists, and I thought I could do something with him. His sweetness, his essential sort of Nordic sweetness.
I don't want you cramping up. You're humping too much stuff, Troop. You don't need half this shit.
Got a nice voice, Willem, very soft and soothing. We shot a lot of corals. I remember we tested in the jungle in the Philippines, and this is a rainforest about 2 hours out of Manila. We were based in Manila, I think, at this point, and went back and forth every day. Charlie has a heat spell and faints. This is a very difficult location to get to. Tough shot. A lot of close helicopter work. We almost got wiped out a couple of times. This is what we secured perimeters every night. In Vietnam, dug our holes. This hard work. Get the water out. Get the resupplies. Another tough shot. You can see the actors are really struggling against the prop wash. Pulling the feet are always getting swollen. People are screwing around with their feet too to try to get out of the field too, because it's a miserable existence sometimes. You see some nice coral work here. We give it a nice flavor for reddish hue. We built these perimeters. Yeah, I had a problem with one of the producers and I were arguing, because I really wanted to get up on this hill over here. This is a fairly large hike. There was no vehicles able to get into this spot. So we walked about a mile up the valley into this hill range, and I said, I want everybody to sleep out here, and let's do it like the old John Ford pictures where you just camp out. So they all said yes, and they went up the hill. We did the shooting, and they all went back. They ran back down the hill that night to get back to the hotels. But we got up there, and it's a hard look. You can see how far it is from anything. You sense it.
What you been smoking, Junior?
There's Forrest Whitaker. Reggie Johnson's another fine young actor.
Hump and hump. Hey, white boy, what you waiting for? That hole ain't gonna dig itself. Come on, boy, get your dick skin on that thing. Dig. We can get all day. Dig.
Somebody once wrote, hell is the impossibility of reason. That's what this place feels like. Hell. I hate it already.
These were my feelings pretty much at the time. I was really caught out of sorts. I mean, I'm a good athlete, but I just, as a soldier, this is a rugged life, and cutting point all day, not knowing anybody, being picked on. because they didn't care about the new guys as much. We were expendable because if you'd been there for a while, you always bonded with people that'd been there with you. So I was, I as all people, a lot of new people was lost and confused, and writing letters to my grandmother of all people because I was having a struggle with my parents at that time, and I wasn't getting along with them, so I was writing to my grandmother. And these guys were all I was in 4 different combat platoons, basically. And 1st Cavalry and 1st Air Cav. And this is a combination of men that I met in these units.
So maybe you sleep 3-4 hours.
So it's not necessarily that they were all in the same unit at the same time. Sergeant Barnes and Sergeant Elias were not in the same unit at the same time, for example.
I don't think I can keep this up for a year, Grandma. I think I've made a big mistake coming here.
Charlie has an interesting stoicism in his face. At the same time, he evokes a boy who comes from a middle-class strata of America, or upper middle-class strata, so it was an interesting admixture for me. I like Charlie's integrity. I almost cast his brother Emilio in it a few years before when I was trying to make the film, and it's ironic that Charlie, who I'd met when he was 15 years old, came back in when he was about 19, 18, and the moment he walked in the room, I knew he was the right one.
Roger that. Okay, move out in 20 mics. I thought it was Emil's.
Scar on Sergeant Barnes is work of Gordon Smith. It's very interesting new technique that was used at that time in 1986 when we shot the movie. It involved applying a glue-like prosthetic to his face and giving it that shape within an hour, and I think we got it down by the end. We got it down to about half an hour of work, so it's an amazing amount of work. I mean, it probably the conventional way would have taken hours to put that makeup on. It did have a tightening effect and a deleterious effect on Behringer's skin, so we used it sparingly so that he would not, in other words, we would ask him to put the scar on when we did all as much work as we could on the right side of his face so that he wouldn't have to walk around with it all day long.
I think in front of the men, it's necessary for me to give the orders.
Beautiful Philippine foliage, colors, long lensing here in this valley. This is a shot done at the lip of night. One of my favorite shots. You see a storm coming up.
On that ugly face of yours, Junior. God damn, man. You break your ass to the white man. No justice around.
What's O'Neill got? A nose up the lieutenant's ass already? How come we always get fucking ambushed?
'Cause it's politics, man. Politics.
Hey, Chris, did I show you a picture of Lucy Jean?
No, you didn't.
She's the one for me, all right. That Lucy Jean. She's waiting for me, too.
Yeah, she's real pretty. You're a lucky guy, Garner.
Hey, you got a picture of your girl? No. I guess that leaves some unlucky girl back at home, don't it?
I went with boys. This boy never acted before. I went with boys from southern towns, small towns, people with accents. I wanted to get as much of America as I could into the picture. Elias is good to Charlie. Establishes a relationship with him out of just need because he knows that these guys aren't going to make it by themselves, so he's trying to be helpful in some minimal way. Bear in mind that these men, are not bad. They're just tired. And when you're very tired and you're irritable and you're struggling for your own, it's hard to take care of somebody else who comes into the unit who doesn't know what he's doing. So it's not like there's a badness or a bad lynch gang mentality here at all, but they're just being ignored.
Lock and load.
I come from Alabama with my banjo on my knee, and I'm going to Louisiana, my true love for to see.
Night ambush is something we all never liked. I mean, no matter how good you were, you'd come out there every night. You go out there from the perimeter. On the nights that you went out, and it was spooky because anything could happen out there at night. That's an optical we laid in. I wanted to get a sense of the rain that was coming on because I remember ambushes where we'd sit in the rain all damn night and be soaked to the bone. This is one of those nights. It happened to me right away, early on in my stay, where I was on a ambush where I fell asleep, as you'll see.
They wanted me to be just like them. Respectable, hardworking, a little house, a family. They drove me crazy with their goddamn world, Grandma. You know, Mom. I guess having always been sheltered and special, I just want to be anonymous, like everybody else. Do my share for my country. Live up to what Grandpa did in the first war, and Dad did in the second. Well, here I am, anonymous, all right, with guys nobody really cares about. They come from the end of the line, most of them. Small towns you never heard
That's
of.
Anthony Quinn's son.
Pulaski, Tennessee, Brandon, Mississippi, Pork Bend, Utah, Wampum, Pennsylvania. 2 years high school's about it. Maybe if they're lucky, a job waiting for them back in a factory. But most of them got nothing. They're poor, they're the unwanted, yet they're fighting for our society and our freedom. It's weird, isn't it? At the bottom of the barrel, and they know it. Maybe that's why they call themselves grunts, because a grunt can take it, can take anything. They're the best I've ever seen, Grandma, the heart and soul.
Hey, Taylor. Hey. Jeez, Dick, you're up.
What?
You're up.
Keith David is
Yeah, I'm sure.
King, who was also a fairly new actor. It's just a great Shakespearean baritone voice. He resembled so many guys that I knew that were strong and were helpful to me in the field, that helped keep me alive. This guy was based on a guy I knew from Texas, was real badass and not very nice. Looking through one of these stupid scopes, any Vietnam veteran will tell you early on from the 67 times, and that how it was difficult to see through these things at night. They always would get wet or smoggy or something. It never worked. So here we see a transition. He's tired, and the rain is stopping. This is a dangerous time because the mosquitoes come out on full force, and they are serious mosquitoes over there, and you get bitten to death. I hated those mosquitoes. But it's one of my favorite voice letters that he sends in the movie to his grandma, describing his feelings of wanting to be anonymous and wanting to escape from what he thinks is the fake Western life that he had been grown up in, and he wants to sort of find out where reality is in his life. So he goes to the bottom of the barrel. Here he wakes up Mr. Junior,
It's your shift, man.
who's played by Reggie Johnson. Badass
Take
kid.
this.
Reggie's obviously fallen asleep. Chris Taylor, Charlie Sheen here jumps up, and he's just shocked awake. He knows something's up. Mosquitoes are eating him. You can see the bumps on his skin, big bumps. Everybody's asleep. You don't know where he is. Those mosquitoes are killing him. You don't know what time it is. Can't even see his watch. Nice use of sound here to create a tension and a foreboding. Mosquitoes are really so bad that you really want to cover up completely and hide from them with a towel, anything. And at the same time, you gotta keep your eye out. Get hot under that towel. Miserable. Moments there that you thought, like, you'd rather shoot yourself than go on. And, it takes hours and hours of ambush time. You're just sitting there. Movie, of course, goes much faster, so you have this problem of reality versus movie time. But things beat up in movies. But you try to condense and give a compressed reflection of the truth. God, terrifying image to him. He sees, suddenly for the first time in his arrival in Vietnam, he sees the enemy. He looks at his claymore, and he can't reach it because he thinks that if he reaches for it, it's going to make noise and they will hear it and kill him. He's terrified. He's looking at his grenades because they told him to throw the grenades too. Don't fire. Blow your claymore, throw your grenades, and shoot your rifle in that order. That's the standard policy. He can't do any of it. He can't call for his other men. We put a wide-angle lens on the camera. It looks like they're further away from him. The enemy's getting closer. They're going to see him any moment. He's terrified. He's frozen to the spot. He can't do anything. Nothing. He's dead. What the hell happened? Somebody blew something. He doesn't know what it is. It's all confusion now. He can't blow the claymore. The safety's on. He fucked up. The other guy reaches over, blows the claymore for him. The claymore goes. He got one of them. They're up there. He's firing. It's confusion. Everybody's firing. No one knows who's firing at what half the time. And here's Tex. He's going for his M60. He's firing. He's got one of them somewhere, he thinks. Boom. Grenade. Here he is, Sergeant McKinley. He throws the grenade. Stupid idiot. Blows Charlie Sheen away. And Tex away. Blows his arm off. Often happen. Many of our casualties were from friendly fire, not enemy fire. Who knows how many? 20%, 30%? I've heard higher estimates. But this is a common condition of war that is overlooked in war movies. This is Tex. He's in pain. Tourniquet comes on. That's Doc. Now Charlie thinks he's dead. He just felt the blood coming off the back of his neck. And as I did, I was shot that night myself. I felt like I was dying. I got shot in the neck. But it wasn't really a severe wound. It was just a scratch. So you never know.
Big Harold, you keep an eye on him. You don't let him go into shock.
Shut up. Shut up and take the pain. Take the pain.
It's one of my favorite lines. I try to remember it every day. Take the pain. Guys go into shock. They die from shock too. Sometimes they die from internal bleeding. They're smiling. You put them on the helicopter and they're gone. You know. Now they're looking for body. I forgot the word. Blood trails. They found one. He finds one. He shoots him. That's Barnes. Not supposed to shoot him. He could have gotten information out of him. Brought him in, but Barnes has a vendetta with the Viet Cong.
If you're gonna die, do you feel like everything's just gonna be fine?
Don't give me that morphine.
He thinks he's dying. He's on morphine.
To get out of here. They're gonna give you 3 hot meals a day. White sheets. Them pretty white nurses. They gonna give you.
Everybody dreamed about getting out of the field, getting in a hospital.
Don't baby talk to me.
And white nurses were in the back.
You let him walk right up on us. You don't do shit. Just shut up, Junior.
And Junior blamed me, and the real Junior blamed me for falling asleep in this position. That is a point still in debate in the historical texts right up to today, but I think Junior fell asleep.
How long?
Charlie thinks he's dying, but he's not really. And the other guy, the guy who's really dying, is his buddy Gardner, right here. Now Gardner is based on a guy who was giving me not quite like this, but the guy that I knew, Gardner, was from the South, and he was smiling as we put him on the chopper. And he died several hours later of internal bleeding. Nobody could believe it. Here he dies pretty quickly here. That's sort of the way we did it sometimes. They get carried away, you try to keep somebody alive with noise and beatings and stuff. And they're gone. That's too bad. He was a good kid. Everybody feels bad about it in the field. And especially if they think it's that guy's fault. So he's going to take the onus of the blame, which I did. And it's a hard thing to live with, too. But it's a lot of anger and irritation. This particular ambush.
This lump of shit. Remember what it looks like. You fuck up in a firefight, and I goddamn guarantee you a trip out of the bush. In a body bag. Out here, assholes, you keep your shit wired tight at all times. And that goes for you, shit for brains. You don't sleep on no fucking ambush. And
On the other hand, Barnes
I catch a cop and Z's in the bush. I'm personally going to take an interest in seeing them suffer.
seems like Barnes knows and senses that Junior
shit
could
you
have
not.
screwed up too, and that's why he's giving him that second look. But he's putting the overt blame on Chris. At this actual ambush, it was frustrating because we actually blew claymores, shot up 3 NVA soldiers, and we only found one body and one long blood trail for several hundred yards, and the third person just vanished. So we began to think that they were an amazingly supernatural type of soldiers. In fact, you could say that they were something weird about them. They had a tremendous resistance to death, and were very tenacious. We took several wounded that night. We were supposed to be ambushing them. So I went back to the hospital in the rear. I spent a couple of days, and then went right back out to the bush. So this is the interlude back at base camp where I get to know people a little bit better, because a wound kind of allows you in. A wound takes you into another level of the infantry. You're more of a veteran. Ambush scene that night must have taken 3-4 nights to shoot. It was a tough one because the nights don't last that long. We had rain, mosquitoes, real mosquitoes, and Bob Richardson, my DP, and I was our first big film together, and Bob was struggling with lighting nights in the jungle. It's not easy with very limited equipment. We went with the idea of, at least in the daytimes, of a hard-to-see look in the jungle. Nothing is overt, nothing is easy to see. It's always hard to pick up. I mean, we went with that look in the daytime. Nighttime, I think Bob was struggling more with it. I think I think sometimes it was too clear, and you find that hard. You have that difficulty at night. Sometimes you see too little, or do you see too much? And it's a hard margin to work. This is based on the outhouse details I worked on. Guys like me and these guys always ended up on outhouse detail because we were always in the shit house in some way or another. And we take the barrels out from the toilets and burn them with kerosene and philosophize as we did so. These guys are mostly talking about getting out of Vietnam, which is an interesting issue because everybody had different dates. I mean, if you were there you had 360 days to go.
Sniff the pines, sniff that cross-mounted pussy down by the river. Woo! Hot damn, boy.
Oh yeah, always dreams of home. I mean, home never looked better than in Vietnam. Little motels in Georgia or houses in Mississippi, New York apartments, I don't know, anything seemed like a dream. We all built up fantasy castles in our head of what life would be like in the States when we got back. Guys went back to beautiful women and found out they were in divorces and had tremendous suicide problems. It was like a second war at home when we returned. I tried to deal with that more and born on the 4th of July.
I volunteered. I dropped out of college and told them I wanted the infantry, combat, in Vietnam.
You volunteered for this shit, man?
Believe that?
You was a crazy fucker. Giving up college?
Didn't make much sense. I wasn't learning anything. I figured why should just the poor kids go off to war and the rich kids always get away with it?
Oh, I see. What we got here is a crusader.
Sounds like it.
Shit. You gotta be rich in the first place to think like that. Everybody know. The poor always being fucked over by the rich. Always have, always will.
Well, I guess by now you know that most of the people who went to Vietnam in the infantry were mostly from the lower economic classes and mostly draftees. Very few middle-class kids went, or upper class, because they were basically shielded by a crazy set of laws that provided if you went to college or had a psychiatric deferment, you could get out of the war. So, as a result, it never really became a democratic war in that sense. It was more of a class war, and the pressure to end it did not come from the parents of those middle-class people who could have gone, because it would have, if they had gone and started to die in any great number, I believe that their parents would have ended that war much faster.
This man here is Chris. He been resurrected.
So in the 1st Cavalry, much later in my tour, actually, I got a chance to, through King and some black friends, I got into the hooches down below. So they had these crazy bunkers up in the 1st Cavalry where guys would really design them, and lights and neon, sort of underground nightclubs, and we'd smoke great dope, great Vietnamese dope, pipes, and all kinds of ways, very inventive. And this was a relaxant and a great stimulant and an alternative lifestyle to a very dull and angry day style, you know, where a lot of people were drinking and partying. But here we had a chance to bond with other people and to talk about dreams and keep sane in a way, keep human. It was important to keep human there because the place would deaden you after a while. And I'm very grateful to these soldiers. They introduced me to music. That's where I started to hear a lot of black jazz, a lot of Motown and The Doors, Jefferson Airplane.
Yeah, it feels good.
I discovered Jim Morrison there in an underground bunker. It was the late 60s, and acid was popular in the States, and marijuana. And people were starting to think in different terms. These soldiers, I would say, were not politicized in any sense. They knew the war sucked. They had that feeling already. And, you know, Muhammad Ali characterized it. I ain't got no dispute with the Gooks, he said something like that, with the Viet Cong. I ain't got no dispute with the Viet Cong. And he went to jail for it. And these guys all knew the score. They knew that the war was a lot of bogus political maneuvering. And but went along with it and just tried to survive it with good dope and good friends and talk at home. Guys here in the hooch didn't party so hard down with us. They didn't like us down there. There was sort of a civil war in the platoon between, I mean, I'm not exaggerating, I'm not too much, but it's not that black and white, but a lot of these guys were into boozing and country music, and both of which I kind of liked too, but I found that this group was a little tougher and did not approve of marijuana, and thought anybody who did smoke it was really had his mind to the winds and would be untrustworthy. So there was some alienation there in each platoon that I was in. I was in 4 different units, and I saw it everywhere.
Everything kind of gets weird, you know what I mean? You hear that story about the gooks putting chemicals in the grass so we don't fight, so we become pacifists?
Yeah, but don't you worry, Bunny, because you's a killer anyway, man.
Yeah, but I still like a piece of pussy once in a while. Ain't nothing like a piece of pussy, except maybe the Indy 500.
Only way you get some pussy, man, is the bitch dies and wills it to you. And then, maybe.
How's it going, Bunny?
I think we had a lieutenant like this, nice guy, but out of his depth here. He was, you know, all-star boy, nice guy. He was killed. Tried to be friends. Can't be friends sometimes when there are people. A lot of Confederate flags around, a lot of good old boys. Good soldiers, too. Good poker players, too. Those guys like Rodriguez, very quiet Spanish guy. Just write home a lot.
Need anything?
Keep to himself and stay close with Jesus. Poker was very popular, a lot of money, a lot of drinking.
Hey, what do you say there, LP? How you doing there, Red?
Not good, not good. This cocksucker's got every card in the deck.
Full house.
That's Sergeant O'Neill. Now, there was a sergeant type like that really gave me a hard time. He was always assigning me to shit duty, and he was always like coasting. He never went out to the field. He'd go out to the field as little as possible. He'd always like stay in. Barnes and the lieutenant are having a bit of a territory struggle for the platoon here. The lieutenants are nominally in charge, but often the platoon sergeant ran the platoon because he was more experienced. In this case, Barnes was based on a guy I know, I won't say who, from Montana, who was in one of my units, and I carried his radio. He had actually been shot.
Yes or no? I have to tell you, that's precisely what I saw. I mean, sometimes I just look at a guy, and I know this fellow's not gonna make it. Just no fucking way.
almost as if Barnes knows O'Neill might not make it. But Barnes had been shot in the head, right? Amazing, miraculous recovery. And went to Japan for 7 months, reconstructed his face, married a Japanese girl, and came back to the Nam. Been wounded 6-7 times, something like that. And he volunteered again. He wanted to get out there, kill him. Tracks of My Tears, one of my favorite songs I found over there. And Smokey just died too. It's sad, but this was a great song. Just moved my heart. And I remember dancing. The guys would be dancing. We danced with each other. You know, it was a way to release this tension. And it was a good thing. It was a good thing to party like this. Kept us sane. And some of the guys would get out in the field. You know, we go nuts sometimes and want to kill the Vietnamese villagers or people that got in our way. And I think doing things like this kept us more balanced and kept us more human. And we wouldn't go out and kill people so quickly, you know, without respecting life a little more. I think respect for life is ingrained in that music.
There's been a lot of movement near the Cambodian border. Regiments of NVA moving across.
And the sense of humor, too.
Firefights, ambushes. We drop a lot of bombs, then we walk through the jungle like ghosts in a landscape.
We went through a jungle like this a lot. This is based on a lot of the search and destroy missions that we did. And then you'd walk up in the jungle. I was getting better on point. You can see it there. But you'd walk right up on something like this, and you wouldn't see it. And it'd be right there in front of you.
Bunker.
Right in front of you. A bunker.
Where?
You wouldn't see it. It could be 6 feet in front of you. It could be an NVA soldier looking at you. You wouldn't know it. It's hard to see in jungle. So you have to trust your senses. It's all visceral. It doesn't, you know, it's not a place for cerebral thinking. It's not a place for cerebrics. It's a place for radar. You need radar, you need instinct, and, you know, I think that there are natural-born warriors, to be honest. I think some people just do the best they can. Some people are dead the moment they put on a uniform. Don't make any difference. This is an NVA base camp, but you see how clever it is. Production design was wonderful by Bruno Rubeo, but they just folded into the landscape. There's an entire little village here that you can barely see. Everything's tucked away. And the soldiers move warily because we know there will be traps around here. And they were just here. You can see the smoke, and they just split. We missed them by maybe a minute. But they might still be around.
Bravo 6, Bravo 6, Bravo 2. Be advised there is a bunker complex up front.
See you next week.
Defoe, character of Elias, is also a tunnel rat. I throw in a little bit of tunnel lore here. I mean, often the units would come out from the other units would come out and do the tunnel work, but I took the liberty of getting right into it and showing Elias, who was not really a tunnel rat, but usually the tunnel rats were really small guys who would squeeze down in through there. And we built a tunnel complex close to the jungle, which we shot in. We had to. We lost a Filipino crew member, unfortunately, early on, trying to build a tunnel, and it caved on us, and he was killed. And I was not in the Philippines at that time, but Bruno went to there was offerings had to be made to the village and to the spirits for his soul. And the film was tough to shoot. There were snake bites a couple of times, and there was a lot of, fatigue and flu and colds and giving in to the roughness of the temperature. On day 42, I remember standing out there. I was one of the few left from the first crew that was out there still. We had a very bad day. A lot of people didn't show up that night. So I think we were calling in like 70% sick on some days. I was basically people were fatigued. It wasn't game playing, it was just fatigue. This is a guy named John Glover from Boston. This is Richard Edson, who went on to do some Jim Jarmusch pictures. And he was also in the band The Lounge Lizards. Cross-cutting here, I think, was effective to show the search, build. Something's going to happen, but what? You don't know, and where, which incident. Elias has stumbled onto an underground tunnel here. He's putting the flash on his face so you'll see him as he makes the corner here, otherwise he would have been lost in the dark. He comes across one of the wounded or dying, a dead NVA. Charlie's on flank, he's guarding. And this happened to me too. I was on flank in a rubber forest, and this huge, not huge, but medium-sized crate snake, viper, went right through my legs and stared at me. Took the wind out of me. The other flank, that's Manny out there, he's on the other flank. Elias has spotted something, feels something, so he's working his way up the tunnel. This is a tough scene to shoot. Watch the timing.
Watch it.
Maps, a lot of maps. We dug up so much information about them in these bunkers. And then we'd send it back to, Intel, and they never do anything with it. It didn't seem to add up. We never got feedback, which is another demoralizing thing in the infantry unit. You want to know, you make your objective, you keep it. They'd ship us out after we took a place and then send us back 10 days later. To take the same place, we'd lose more lives. So he triggered a booby trap there. You saw that one. That's George Delarue music. We kind of went with a Japanese style there, Oriental style. That's a little dramatic license, but he did manage to stumble out, and it's a pretty horrifying sight. He comes back from flank. Something's happened.
Damn it. You got it.
See a lot of dirty smoke. Good. The uniforms are really stonewashed. I mean, they're dirty. The towels, the sweat. I mean, I think these are attention to details. It's very good, important. Some guys are straps, and sometimes they're bare-chested. I mean, there's a variety of individual styles in a soldier. And each one sort of, if the more you look at it, I think a veteran can spot some of this stuff. But each uniform is a statement, really, of the way the person's attitude is. And even the graffiti, the choice of the graffiti on the helmets is important. So we had to individualize as much as possible. Barnes is loved by his men because he cares for them. He has a military affection for the hierarchy. And it's clear that he's emotionally involved with the men who die. If anything, I would say that his moods veer more towards death than life. So this NVA bunker sequence took maybe 3 days to shoot. And I really study the camera movements, the choreography of camera as we reveal people, and I thought it was very nicely done. Keep a sinuous, almost serpent-like quality to the moves and reveals and pulling of, racking the focus and walking people in and out of frames, circling around. As you saw, Manny vanished, missing in action. There were a lot of, not a lot, but there was a few MIAs, and that happens in war. We don't know what happened. Manny was taken off the flank, and here we reveal one of the more basic fears we all have of being captured and cut up and castrated alone. Indian country feeling. This works on the emotions of the men, obviously, and you're going to see the cause and effect, as the Buddhists say. You will see the results of this, the effect of this in the next scene, when they will take out their wrath on the villagers.
Motherfuckers.
Spare movie. Love that sky, pink and dangerous, coming at you. I love framing these landscapes and putting men into landscapes into the far. I love that always in movies. It's fun though. Have guys all the way back out there, 200, 300, 400 yards from camera.
Our Captain Ahab. We would set things right again. That day.
Charlie's literary in quality. That's the way I was. I mean, he wrote about people like Captain Ahab. So I love this shot. This is a toughie. Great hit on the back. Timing is good. You got a real realistic feel of how a shot goes. Missed the first one, probably got him on the second and the third. And you saw the delay in him hitting him. Timing-wise, it's complicated to pull that off. You got to pop the squib at the right time. But it was good. I had a terrific Filipino crew, assistant directors and stunt guys and special effects helpers that were really terrific with Yves Bono on special effects. Yves Bono was an Englishman. And he did everything almost first with his hands himself. But nobody got hurt in the special effects crew. Now here's our village. This one was a tough one because we had to build it. We stocked it with as many Vietnamese as we could get with a limited budget. And we found some of these people, by total accident, were tourists in the Philippines from Vietnam, coming from South Carolina, and had some money. They were a bit rich tourists, and they were traveling through the Philippines. We spotted them and grabbed them. We grabbed this woman, put her in the movie. First time she'd ever been in a movie. She's actually an upper-class Vietnamese from probably from Saigon, playing a peasant woman. But her English was, she understood what I was saying. We pulled people out of bunkers all the time. We blew the bunkers if they didn't get out. The others didn't get out. This is a tough shot, actually. Vietnamese expressed their grief the way we remembered it in the villages, very phonetically, very strongly. They would seem almost like actors the way they would scream and yell, and it irritated us more because we thought that they were faking it by the accentuation on screaming and crying, and as a result, we misunderstood.
Scared, huh? What about me, man? What about me? I'm sick of this fucking shit. Come on, motherfucker, move! Watch this fucker. Fuckers don't want to see, man. Who the fuck do you think they're fighting for, huh?
I like Kevin Dillon very much. He was the younger brother of Matt Dillon, very strong Irish-American features, and very had a coldness in him, a cruelty that was true to the. In a sense, there was nothing more dangerous in Vietnam than a 19-year-old American with a shotgun. He exemplified that. Did a wonderful job, performance.
Sergeant Warren, you bring that honcho over here.
Now here you see the essence of the problem. In any village, we did find many links to the North Vietnamese army. The villagers were sympathetic to them, and we didn't like them for that. Some people would argue that they didn't have any choice. They had to store the weapons and help the North Vietnamese. But the fact is that they were sympathetic to them because the North Vietnamese were fighting for their independence, whereas we were perceived by them as invaders. I went nuts one day against one of these poor guys, an older man, and I shot at his feet because he would not listen to what I said. I almost killed him in the bunker, and he wouldn't come out of the bunker, and I went crazy on him because I just had enough that particular day. So we're all in touch with our anger at some point there, that's for sure. And I didn't kill him, but I came mighty close. I'm glad I never did. Whereas my friend Bunny, I didn't see this. This is a dramatization, but I know that he clubbed somebody to death.
You're real sorry, ain't you? You're just crying your little hearts out about Sandy and Sal and Manny.
Forgot about it, Bunny, huh? Let's go. What do you say?
This is a retard. And Bunny, I mean, we killed villagers at random everywhere. I mean, it wasn't like something we did as a policy by any means, but it was like done in a way that you'd be walking in a village, and if somebody and you were called to somebody and he didn't return, he didn't come when you told him to, you'd shoot him. You had the right to. It depended on the mood. I mean, sometimes we were very friendly to them, and we would give them food and make jokes with him. Or,
Scars on this gook honcho, Sarge.
that's Johnny Depp in the middle. It was one of his first roles. I thought he was a splendid-looking young guy. He obviously, I felt like he would become a star one day, and it was fun to work with him. He was very obliging. He learned some Vietnamese for this for translator role, this scene, in a sense, brings the whole focus of the platoon together. I mean, everyone runs up to see what's going on, and we sense that there's some kind of moral showdown about to happen here.
Who the hell is the gook we nailed on the riverbank?
Ai biết bọn nào đông kia xong? Tôi không biết. Ăn rồi. Không thấy gì không.
He doesn't know. He says that the NVA ain't been around in a couple of months. Look, maybe it was a scout or something. Sorry.
Yeah, sure, a scout. What about the fucking rice and the weapons? Who they for? An LVC? That cocksucker knows what I'm saying. He understands. Don't you, Pop?
Goddamn right he does.
You Bick. You Bick.
Man, he's lying through his teeth. Come on.
That little guy's a rodeo rider from Texas. That's Ivan Kane from the Bronx, the fellow with the heavy beard.
He swears he doesn't know anything. He hates the NVA, but they come when they want and they just take the place.
What's the bitch saying?
This is the essence of the problem, is that the villagers all supported the NVA, and we were going nuts because we never could get the hearts and minds of the villagers. We'd moved a lot of them off the land into hamlets, strategic hamlets, and those that were left in the land were so brutalized by the bombings and the defoliants that by the time we got there, they were terrified of us anyway. I like the delay on that shot, that it takes that second to be stunned. And he just couldn't stand her voice anymore. She was driving him nuts, and he decided to get to the point, which is basically to terrify these people. But what he does is he really pisses the village chief off. You're going to see the guy is very, very resilient. He intends to kill more. Barnes has lost it partly because of the Manny killing. And this is turning into a small version of My Lai, the My Lai massacre, a famous massacre of 1968. The point being that these type of things could happen very easily in that heat and intensity, 100 degrees of sun or 95 degrees, and people get nuts. He gets nuts. Your pride, your territory gets at stake. You want to show how tough you are and how serious you are, and the next thing you know, you're killing people. It's easy to cross that line. And here's Charlie. He doesn't want to do it. He wants to stop it, but he doesn't have the guts to go up against the sergeant. Very few people would. He's warned him. But he won't give in either. So it seemed like a good spot to have Elias get us out of this hole before we get into another My Lai.
Stay out of this, Elias. This ain't your show.
You ain't a firing squad, you piece of shit!
Come on, boys! Nice, no!
A fight in the dust. I always wanted to do something like that, John Wayne, Montgomery Clift, Red River, guys rolling into the dust. I loved this shot, these graphics with these, all the two sides of the platoon are leaning in from both directions. You sense sort of like almost a Homeric battle here between two giants, titans. The men separated them. Look at there, you see, comes back at him. Nope. I love this, break it up. Look at the dust. Look at his face there. He looks like a silent film star with those eyes. Lights flaring off Elias. He's gone nuts too. And now the lieutenant emerges as a force here. At least he shows some determination.
You hear that? Torch this place. Blow the weapons in place. Round up all suspected VC.
Well, the village is a legitimate NVA supply point, it seems.
Why the fuck didn't you do something?
What are you talking about?
You know what the fuck I'm talking about?
No, I don't. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Elias.
There's a good shot here. Barnes is obviously, this is a very strong it's an interesting legal point. You know, if there had been a court-martial, what would have happened? There was so many of these incidents that they were all buried. Most of them were buried. Occasional unlucky fellow would get busted for killing a Vietnamese and would go to jail, but he would be probably in the unlucky 5% or 2%. On the other hand, it was a village with known enemy sympathizers, and the orders were to torch it. So you would get into this gray area, this dilemma of where the villagers are the villagers NVA and North Vietnamese and sympathizers and allies, or are they not? Here they're putting a white phosphorus grenade in the rice storage bin. That's one of the effective ways to destroy the rice. There's acid and fire in that grenade. Here they're grenading the well, blowing out the water supply. Here we are herding the villagers. This scene had a lot of impact on people. People told me about it, especially the barber comes in. Here I was in a situation. It was another day, but I saved a girl once from being raped and killed, probably. And I thought this was a good time for Charlie to show some colors.
Hey, come on! Fire! You fucker! Get out of here! The fuck off! Don't do it! Don't do it! You fucker! What is this, huh?
You homosexual, Taylor? What the fuck is your problem, Taylor? She's a fucking thing.
She's a fucking human being, man! Fuck you!
Little fucking cherry, Taylor.
Fucking animal! All of you, you fucking animals!
Fucking fuck. You don't belong in the Nam, man. This ain't your place at all.
Don't fucking get it, do you, man? You just don't fucking get it.
That's the way it was. He didn't talk too much about it, but it just didn't get it. Some guys did, some guys didn't. But Elias sees Chris behaving like this. I think that's important.
Come on, guys, please up your dicks. Let's get out of here.
So I said this scene had some impact. He's taking pictures. A lot of us had cameras. Guys were burning their village, killing them, but carrying them out and taking care of them. It's that strange bilateral relationship we had with the Vietnamese. Two different directions. Love, hate. It's like the knuckles on Ra's hand. We got some great light here. You can see the sun on the grass. It must be that magic hour around 5 o'clock, maybe 6. The green is popping. The sun's popping off the green. And in the background, we blew the village. 2 cameras, you see that? So here we are. We're back in the perimeter that night. And Elias and the lieutenant are explaining the situation to the company commander, the captain.
Wolf is being witness to the shooting.
All right, Elias. Staff Sergeant Barnes?
Sir!
I want a full report from you on this when we get back to the CP.
You got it, Dye, and I can throw in plenty of eyewitnesses if you want, sir.
Not now, goddammit.
That's Dale Dye, my military advisor,
We'll get into this when we get back to the base camp. And I can promise
with
you
a
something.
dye on his hair.
If I find out there was an illegal killing, there will be a
Dye is
right now I need every man in the
several
base.
now in Vietnam and very helpful in remembering and outfitting and arming and helping me stage military actions.
Now we're going back into that NVA bunker complex tomorrow, this time from the east. You people get some rest. Be back up here at the CP at 9.
In this particular scene, this is an interesting hinge to the film because he is telling Barnes that he is going to be, the charges are going to be looked into. So now Barnes does have something to lose. if his career, his military career, his promotions, everything could be jeopardized by an Article 15 or a court-martial situation. So there's something at stake going on. But the commanding officer doesn't want to pursue it now. Obviously, we're in the field. We're going back into the NVA bunker complex. Why? This is why we always wonder why we had to go back to places where we'd lost people. Now, this is an interesting thing that happened a lot. We'd go back and circle around, take more casualties. Here you'll see the Bloods talking together and bitching about what the white man's doing to them. It's the white man's war.
It's really getting out of hand, man. It's blown way out of control. Seems to me that you don't seem to know the difference. The way you shoot up that
And drugs was an issue, and also towards the later part of my tour in '68, that's when I started to feel there was much more racial dissension. In my earlier part of the tour, I didn't feel that at all. I felt like they were more unified. And I was befriended by many black soldiers, but I felt there was a lot of angry ones too, especially after Martin Luther King and Malcolm X were killed in the United States.
Don't need a time for courtroom out here.
Barnes sums up his vigilante feelings about war.
How'd it go there, Bob?
Yeah, that way, Sarge. Fucking Elias, man. He's a fucking rat, that's what he is.
The platoon is
Everybody in this platoon
really dividing now over this issue at the village. Half the platoon's going with Bob Barnes. They're worried. The other half is going with Elias. But Bob is worried because basically, fundamentally, he's a military man. And promotions and rank and all that stuff matters to him. And he knows he's screwed if he gets into a pissing contest in a legal situation. Elias sums up his feelings about the war here.
There's no right or wrong in them.
Put those stars in.
That's a nice way of putting it.
I couldn't at that time find an Indian actor who conveyed to me the essence of Elias successfully. And I looked. So I ended up casting a Dutch actor out of New York. I was very impressed with Willem's performance in To Live and Die in L.A. And the moment I saw him, I felt that he looked so evil and seductive and interesting that I thought that we could go the other way with that, that sense of strangeness.
We're gonna lose this war.
Come on. You really think so? Us?
We've been kicking other people's asses for so long, I figure it's time we got ours kicked.
Day by day, I struggle to maintain not only my strength, but my sanity.
Chris continues writing.
It's all a
home.
I have no energy to write.
But he stops writing here, he
I
says.
don't know what's right and what's wrong anymore. The morale of the men is low. The civil
This is rain against sun. This is tough. We were scheduled for rain, too much sun, but we lit it anyway. The sun pops the rain out, so we went with it. But it's a strange look, but it did happen in Vietnam. We would occasionally have rain and sun.
in front of my face, not much else. Hope things are well, Grandma. Tell Mom and Dad just tell them. Chris.
He sees a spider hole back here. This is interesting because he senses right away there could be an ambush coming. Because anybody can get in that hole behind you or in between you. That's what they want. They want to get you into crossfire situations.
Hey, big boy. I know you thought you had that laundry gig.
Well, I forgot about the leeches. We had a lot of leeches. Go right up your socks, into your socks. Some of them, when it really rained a lot, one time we got stuck out 12 days. There's a leech on his face. You can see them everywhere. They'd come right up on sometimes they come right up your penis canal, or your anal canal, or your ears, your nose. They get in overnight. Some guys had to be evacuated. He had an inflated leech in his intestine, and they had to cut it out, operate him. This is based on an ambush that happened to me on January 15th, 1968. We got picked off we took 35 wounded, I think. 4 or 5 dead. And we didn't even see one of them. Johnny Depp in the lead. Guy in a bunker. See, there's an explosion right there. They got them. Those are mortars. They're walking mortars in. RPGs are going to come next. RPGs are rockets and the most dangerous of all. Charlie comes running up. Good baseball slide there. You see the mud. He slid an extra 3 feet. He's trying to be a hero today. I don't know why. Maybe because of what happened in the village. There's sometimes you become a hero, you don't know why. You give enough, you just get sick of it. Good sound effects here. Good thuds, good concussions. This is sort of the Terminator era, so we were still working with a lot of more primitive sound effect system. We've since enhanced a lot of the artillery on board on the 4th of July and Heaven and Earth. This picture was done in a very quick mix, actually, over at Ryder Sound in Hollywood. There's some good shots there. Good relationship shots to bunker. Here he is behind an anthill. I ended up behind an anthill one day. The mud, I love the mud. Crawling up alongside a guy that's been shot. Look at the way it's laid out. You can't even read the goddamn compass. These are practical considerations people don't know. You can barely read it. Your watch gets clogged up, your compass. He's going to call in the wrong artillery. He's going to walk it right in on his own men. You're nervous, too. Elias offers a strategy that makes sense to roll up the flank, but he doesn't know what to do. It's a tough call, too. How do you do when you get pinned down like this? You got people behind you?
Get men in these holes. They got us caught in a crossfire. We'll shoot each other to shit. Sounds pretty far off to me, Elias. I've seen it happen.
Yeah, it happened at Yedra.
They cut us to fucking pieces. I need 3 men. You got them. Take off.
Barnes sees the plan. He understands.
I don't want to be stuck out there with my ass hanging in the breeze. You don't tell me how to run my way.
Barnes lets Elias go do what he wants.
You go crying and rat fucking the brigade on your own time. But out here, you belong to me. Now move. Barnes.
I don't know if Barnes has a plan in his head. We don't know. But it makes sense to spread out, get somebody on the flank there. Try to turn him. Meanwhile, Chris is up front there. He's being shot to shit by this guy in a hole. Happened to me. I had an M79, so I couldn't even use it. It doesn't fire at that close range. I was stuck up there without anything. Except for grenades. I threw grenades. The guy was popping up, you see. Didn't know that he had a grenade, was in the hole. That was his first kill. Or his first known kill, anyway. And he's gone up to his friend Johnny Depp. Meanwhile, King's been able to get up in the M60. You always need to try to get that M60 up front. And try to lay out some fire. You got a lot of modern firepower is very cutting. I mean, it's intense. If you can lay out, the theory is if you can lay out fire, you can cut your casualties, and oh shit, this guy is fucked. He just looked up in time to see his own artillery coming down on him. These are some good shots. Oh man, that guy got buried. He got shrapnel all over his back. And he's hot, you see, because you get shrapnel in your back too. You're really boiling. Barnes is taking out the shrapnel. You see the smoke coming off his shirt there. That's cool. Shoot. It's horrible to be that artillery and bombs. He trips the satchel. That's what happened to me. A friend of mine's, not a friend, a guy I was with. Great shot. A guy I was with tripped a satchel. I got wounded my second time on January 15th. I got shot in the shrapnel in the legs and the ass. Actually. So they're trying to regroup in the back here, get their wounded back. This is a sad scene for Chris. He knows his friend is really in bad shape, may not make it, and it inspires Chris to, in a strange way, to get back into the fight and make good. A sense of vengeance and sets in, and as often the case of brings out the heroism. Chain reaction, cause and effect. Barnes is really pissed off at the lieutenant for doing this.
You ignorant asshole! What the fuck coordinates you given? You waste a lot of people up there with your fucked up fire mission. You know that? You know that?
Puts his helmet on the wrong way. It's mosquito repellent over on the helmet there, that helmet band liner. Meanwhile, Elias is out on flank. He's trying to turn the flank. He's got Charlie Sheen with him and Francesco Quinn, who's Anthony Quinn's son, and Chris Peterson.
Stagger yourself across this line. Shoot anything that moves. They'll be coming from over there.
Elias feels that they're going to try to come in between the two platoons, and so they're going to have a bigger day. They're going to really wipe out two platoons here. So it's important action that he does.
In case they try to flank us. Third platoon's coming up to our rear, so watch for them. Hey, can I go with you? No. We'll move faster alone.
You can get stuck up there for like 2 or 3 hours sometimes. They just wait and they'll bait you.
We tell everybody to pull back to the church. We link up with 3rd Platoon. You got that? What about Elias? We can pull back if we cut off. You just haul ass too, Lieutenant. I'll get it.
Rain's stopping. A few minutes have gone by. A lot of fog. Early jungle fog. They're coming all right. And these 4 guys are going to try to stop them. Now this feels pretty good. You've been nailed all day, and then you get them. So these guys are really excited.
I got 2 of them fuckers, man.
I got 1.
Touch him, man. Stop.
And they glow. I mean, you go crazy. It's gonna be a long, frustrating war. You don't see them often. When you see them, you get them. It's amazing. It's like fishing or hunting, except you're dealing with human lives. You realize it later in your life, but right then and there, when you're a kid, it's part of the game.
Sarge, there's a bunch of goose came through there. We got 3 of them fuckers. Hey, did you hear the arty shift? We're pulling back.
So Barnes is shifting the artillery. He's pulling back the troops, and he's got Elias out there.
I'll get him. You get Crawford in now before you Article 15 both your asses. Move. Come on, move it.
This was shot all in a rainforest right outside Manila, not too far from Manila. We had a Kung Fu ninja film shooting next door, so occasionally we look over and we see a Chinese guy flying through the air in a black pajama off a trampoline. We built one of these, some of these shots, we look closely, we built a dolly here in the jungle that was about 90 feet long, 120 feet long, and we just whipped it through there. I mean, it's hard dolly because this jungle is not even layered, so we have to put a lot of, compensations in on the dolly, and boy, we were flying down these tracks. These guys are really running. They're trying to get in between the American platoons. Elias is the only thing that can prevent them from doing so. And he's running counter direction. You see left to right, right to left. They're coming, he's coming. That's a tough shot in the jungle. And they are running, these guys. And boom, they meet. And Barnes is also stalking, as you can see, Barnes is stalking him left to right, and now he turns and he goes back right to left, indicating that he's picking up on something on Elias in another direction. Elias is circling. You can hear on the soundtrack some interesting George Delarue Japanese-style music, indicating the spookiness and mystery of this jungle. Meanwhile, back at the perimeter, they're restocking, putting the wounded and the dying in. This is a mess. It smells. It's awful. People are shot. Diane screaming. Charlie goes back out. It's a goal shot moving to a bush on a track coming in on him. Here he is. This is cool. We laid mist on the floor. He thinks it's an NBA. Now he realizes. He thinks it's Barnes. Okay, he's okay. He smiles. Barnes lets up. Oh, it's Elias. You see, he didn't even decide until now. Good friends, right? Right, Jack. Elias gets it. So does Barnes. Boom. Can't hesitate when you're a warrior. I don't think he planned it. I think it's an interesting equation that grew out of this coincidence that Elias got stretched out, and Barnes just took advantage of that situation. Get rid of the trial, too. No, he didn't count on this punk.
Elias is dead. Fall back with the platoon. Keep going.
Tom Berenger seems to have a bit of a guilt complex there. Charlie really doesn't know what to do. Go with him or try to look for Elias. It's hopeless to look for him. The nice reverse dollies in there, kind of going in on Chris and reversing to Barnes. This sequence coming up is really tough to shoot. We were in choppers in and out, on the ground, above the ground. This is a tough one. Bodies moving towards the chopper for evacuation. Wind, wash. Good wounds, good makeup. All of these guys, they're really struggling. Some of them are getting out, though, and they're happy. Some of these actors are finishing today, too. We shot in sequence. So they're getting home, going home, they're getting out of this mess. Yeah, that happened a lot. Wash and knock off the bodies. That's great makeup on those dead bodies. It's a good shot coming up. Yeah, I told him, lift him. Just lift him. I don't care how you get him up. Just drag it, make it awkward, make it ugly. It's hard carrying guys. Faces are good, though. They got that rigor mortis look. Charlie's got a defiant new graffiti on his helmet, if you notice. Yeah, that's Forrest Whitaker there. He's happy. He's getting out. Big John, he's getting out of the field. Now, this is a tough shot. Look at how close we are to the chopper on that one. You were right on top. No, we're nailing around. We're coming around on a dolly, picking this up. It's pretty dangerous. Plus, we got a lot of explosions near the choppers. The Filipino Army really went out of their way to help us, but the U.S. Pentagon, of course, thought the script was unrealistic and told us that they would not cooperate. These are tough shots. There's Dale Dye shooting out the back. Again, now, this is a tough one, too, because we had a lot of people in this chopper. I remember this is where we almost bought it. You see about 6-7 people in this chopper. Look at that down there. That's cool. And the air coming up. We were too many people with the camera equipment, the sound equipment. There's just too many people in this chopper. We almost went right into the side of the mountain there on the ravine. But there's slow motion shot. Back down, go back down there. Because they got Elias's there, you see. They just spotted him. He wasn't killed by Barnes's bullet. So I got a little operatic here. Obviously Elias didn't die this grandiose, but what the hell, it's only a movie. This is interesting. We have the NBA shooting at keeping the air support from getting too close, and they're getting blown to smithereens. Squibs in the ground. That's tough, complicated. Great shot though with long lens. Seeing them in the background, double, triple actions. But they are keeping the choppers off. Here's a really beautiful wide shot. Shot from another chopper over the church, given in a frame. You see the second chopper flying over. You get a sense of the madness of this. And here, ironically, this became our poster. That's a tough match of sky. We couldn't do it, but it was a great shot. Great try. That's one of a beauty too, with a long lens. And Charlie knows. He knows. So does Bob Barnes. Elias didn't make it. Back to base camp. This is a good shot coming to the base camp. That's a 6 o'clock magic hour shot. The heads are back in the hooch and they're pissed off about Elias's death. As the war progressed in the 68 period, there was a much more fragging that was going on. Sergeants and sometimes lieutenants were attacked. There was dissension in the troops. There was mutinies. Already with a large amount of friendly fire that occurred and casualties, this was another added burden. There was a tremendous amount of demoralization based on Johnson's withdrawing from the war in March. Lyndon Johnson said that he would not run for office, and that was it, basically. And from that point on, every infantryman knew that the game was up. It was just a question of survival. And demoralization set in, more drug usage, more race war, and questioning, not an openly overt question as to why we were there, but just sort of an underlying feeling of disease.
Because he done left his pains down here. You're wrong, man. Any way you cut it, Barnes is a fucking murderer.
Right on.
Taylor, I remember when you first came in here.
Well, I was a country boy from South Carolina. Very interesting sort of Robert Mitchum, Night of the Hunter character, who really nailed me a couple of times, told me things I didn't want to hear. But good country sense, good sense of what to do in combat. And he's saying to me here basically not to go against Barnes. Take a little bit of dramatic license. Barnes never confronted us like this, but for the purpose of this scene, I decided to walk him right into the hooch, right into the head hooch. And it became one of Tom's favorite scenes, one of his best.
Y'all experts? Y'all know about killing? Well, I'd like to hear about it, potheads.
Barnes was not a person who liked potheads at all. But I took the liberty, as I said, in the scene to push it. And they're coming to a head here, in a conclusion.
I am reality. There's the way it ought to be. There's the way it is.
That's kind of the feeling I had, that
Elias was full of shit.
Charlie was an idealist.
Elias was a crusader. Now, I got no fight with any man that does what he's told. And when he don't, the machine
Talking to
breaks
Charlie,
down.
not to Elias.
And when the machine breaks down, we break down.
There's some truth to that.
And I ain't gonna allow that. Many years.
Any commander will tell you.
Not one.
There, Elias had an element of individuality that works against the machine.
Y'all love lies. You want to kick ass.
Most Americans that I talked to sided with Barnes in this dispute.
Well, here I am, all by my lonesome. And ain't nobody gonna know. 6 you boys against me. Kill me.
Well, you don't often respond to that kind of provocation. It's a provocation that's hard to resist. Chris falls for it. And he's not the street fighter that Barnes is, and he loses quite quickly. I find this scene a little bit melodramatic in hindsight. I'd probably do it differently if I were directing it now. But, Barnes, of course, thinks about trials, thinks about the system. He can't do it. Takes Charlie's cherry, in a sense, there. Warns him off.
Death? Well, you all know about death.
Couldn't resist this line. Of course, it's a little bit melodramatic, but I just couldn't resist that kind of thing. He's a little drunk, as you can see. He bangs against the crate there, so he might be presumed to say something like that. I felt that about Barnes, that he had that dead eyes. He'd been to death. He'd been back across the Gulf. That's what gave him his power over men. In this scene, we're returning to the same area where we'd been ambushed before, and this is a very bad feeling. It's sort of like going back down into one of the bardos, past the church. It's a flashback. Past the church where Elias died. I built this 2-battalion perimeter for the film because I wanted to match this battle I had on January 1, 1968. We were about 2 battalions, but weak battalions, not fully loaded, and we were hit by 5,000 North Vietnamese.
Somewhere out there was the entire 141st NVA regiment.
It was near a place called Sui Cut on the Vietnamese maps, Suoikut. It was called Fire Base Burt, B-U-R-T, by the Americans. And it was some hell of a firefight. It wasn't much written about. In fact, I never saw it written about in any military history. It was sort of ignored. It was a strange thing. And years later, I finally ran into some veterans of that night. And they told me incredible stories about it. So I knew that it had happened. And for a while there, after the war, I doubted my own sanity. I thought it may have been an illusion, and I had a dream. But sure, I know that fight happened.
We're in fucking Cambodia right now. Cambodia? Man, you kidding me.
Wanted to see me, sir.
Yeah, Ramucci. Looks like you got Elias' squad now.
Squad, sir? I know we're still referring to this platoon in terms of squads.
All right, look. I want you to take those 2 holes right there and there. You're tying it off.
Well, by this time, the lieutenant's really toughened up, but as you can see, he's toughened up in a sort of negative way, and frustration is high. And represents every platoon, every company was undermanned by January, February. Been a lot of wounded being shipped out. A lot of people went to the rear. So we were carrying, 2 men on foxholes all night. Sometimes double, be up half the night.
Just don't give a flying fuck anymore.
Well, here you see King putting out a claymore mine, and you see an ambush patrol going out at the edge of night, for night ambush. People are pretty down here. King is going home any day. He's pissed off because he's still out in the bush, and he should be back in the rear at this point. He's got, I think, 10 days left.
What's the matter with you, man? How come you ain't writing nobody? What about your folks? That grandma you was telling me about? Girl?
I sense that Chris has changed. He doesn't need to write, doesn't want to write anymore, doesn't believe anymore. Something's troubling him. Grass puts you in another head. Changes your reality. Very rarely would we smoke in the field, I think once or twice, like this, but it was an extreme circumstance.
Just keep your pecker hard and your powder dry, and the worm will turn.
The worm will turn. I think it's an expression we got from, probably from Mexico, the mezcal bottle. The worm inside the bottle. That things change.
Going, making up the rules any way they want. So what do? Sit in the middle and suck on it. We just don't know how to
Charlie continues to be an idealist in a situation that... I don't know, why do we have idealism? Well, in war, I don't know. It's insane. It's a no-win proposition. And why do we dramatize it? And why do we like it as drama?
Hey, King, collect up your shit. Your orders just come through.
Reality is that there's very little idealism.
What do you need, a written invitation for Christ's sake?
Mostly functional. Turning the knobs at Auschwitz, so to speak.
You get your figure, Rodriguez. You got 10 minutes to make the last fucking chopper out of here, man. Because if you're not on it...
Everybody's pissed. He got the chopper out. That's a very rare thing, but it did happen. Sometimes you'd get a late night lift into town or something, and you'd get out.
Got my address, you know.
It's a nice look in Charlie's eyes. Really going to miss. He has a friend in life. That's a hard thing to get. He's going to miss this man, Fitzgerald. He's going back to Tennessee, Humboldt, Tennessee.
Remember now, take it easy. Don't think too much. Don't you be no
Like a mother.
Remember, ain't no such thing as a coward out here. Don't mean nothing. My man.
Power handshake. But it was felt.
I'll walk you out.
I miss a guy like that, you know. Ever get in that same situation in the States, you know? Sometimes you did cross skin, racial barriers. And it was the best to have that relationship without any of the ideology and the bullshit. A lot of guys would put mosquito repellent on their feet, like Junior just did, and get the hell out of the field because they sensed some shit was coming. So the feet would swell up.
Spraying mosquito repellent on your fucking feet. I'm gonna court-martial your nigger ass.
Well, then court-martial me, motherfucker! Bust my ass! Send me to fucking Long Beach! You do your fucking work! You white folks that got your last click out of Junior!
O'Neill, give me that centipede.
Sorry?
Yeah, that long, hairy, red and black bastard I found in the ammo crate. I'm gonna put it in this boy's crotch, see if he can walk.
I remember now.
Hey! Now hold up, man! Just hold up and wait, all right? Fuck it, I'll walk! I'll fucking walk, man!
Fucking pussy, man. Hey, Sarge, I gotta have him in my home.
Yeah. Bob?
Barnes seems a little drunk there. But anything you can do to keep a guy in the field, you had to. We're short of men. Even Sergeant's trying to get out here.
Bob, I got a license R&R. It's coming up in 3 days here. I was thinking about going to Hawaii and see Patsy. Hey, Bob, come on, I never asked you for a fucking thing over here. You know, I was thinking maybe... Well, to be honest with you, I was hoping you'd put me on that chopper with King out of here. What do you say there, Cheaperoni?
I can't do that for you, Red. We need every swinging dick in the field, and you know that.
Hey, Bob, come on, you
Boy,
can talk to me for Christ's sake. All I'm asking you for is 3 fucking days here.
I am talking to you, Red, and I'm telling you no. So get back in your foxhole.
Bob, I got a bad feeling on this one, all right? I mean, I got a bad feeling. I don't think I'm gonna make it out of here. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Everybody gotta die sometime, Red.
Hard lines. Something very pathetic about Sergeant O'Neill. He's always a bully, pushing other people around. And in deciding what to do with this character, you're going to see, instead of killing him off, I guess would be the typical thing in a Platoon movie, would be I reversed it and let him live, but with a different set of consequences. But I love that exit. It's so cool. Straight up. Uh-oh.
It was a fucking ambush.
wait until later. It's fucking coming now, man. Right fucking now.
You know, Junior, some of the things we done, man, I don't feel like we done something wrong.
I always love this act of contrition on the part of Bunny, as if he doesn't quite be able to put his finger on what his concept of hell is like, but he certainly feels the flames of it.
I like it here. Get to do what you
I
want.
love this
Nobody fucks with you.
existential explanation of his philosophy, which is when you die, you don't feel it anyway, so you can do anything you want while you're alive. It makes sense.
I gotta be in this hole. Do you, man?
It makes sense
Snow, I should've come.
for an American teenager.
Don't you worry, Junior. You're hanging with Audie Murphy here, my man.
Bravo 3, Bravo 3, Bravo 6.
This could have been even scarier. I didn't have the right light, but this is supposed to be the edge of night.
Okay, 3 Alpha, now calm down, son. I'll get you a fire mission ASAP. Smoke will be first.
Lieutenant's dead. Radio man looks dead, sir. I don't know where
This could be a potentially very scary conversation. I'm not sure I succeeded as a director in that I just wanted to feel the horror of the ambush through the radio, never see them a disembodied kind of effect of horror of a ambush platoon being wiped out, overrun. But I missed it. Here, Barnes is giving the lieutenant a little grin. I love that focus pull. But Barnes is digging the oncoming tension. Now the obviously the ambush is gone. They're not responding. This should have been really later in the day. Given the budget we had and the conditions, we just had to grab what we could when we could. We were running out of. Towards the end of the schedule, we're running out of time.
Shit.
Hello, I'm Oliver Stone. Writing and directing Platoon was, I guess, as necessary a part of my life as surviving Vietnam, which I managed to do when I went there in 1967 or 68. This movie means a lot to me. It was the first big movie I ever made that had worldwide impact. And, I'm especially proud to be able to bring it to you on Laserdisc. The first big movie I ever made that had worldwide impact. I'm especially proud to be able to bring it to you on Laserdisc. The big movie I ever made that had worldwide impact. I'm especially proud to be able to bring it to you on Laserdisc. The movie I ever made that had worldwide impact. I'm especially proud to be able to bring it to you on Laserdisc. The movie I ever made that had worldwide impact. I'm especially proud to be able to bring it to you on Laserdisc. The movie I ever made that had worldwide impact. I'm especially proud to be able to bring it to you on Laserdisc. People who made that had worldwide impact. I'm especially proud to be able to bring it to you on Laserdisc. People who made that had worldwide impact. I'm especially proud to be able to bring it to you on Laserdisc. People who made that had worldwide impact. I'm especially proud to be able to bring it to you on Laserdisc. In struggling to deal with how do we light this huge battle at night with a limited amount of time and money, we didn't have the money for the lighting, certainly. We decided to go au naturel in the sense that in Vietnam, I remember everything was lit by trip flare, by night flares and artillery. So Bob Richardson, our cameraman, just adventurously decided to light the whole thing with flares. Okay, ready, and here he trips a flare. This is important. This sets off the ambush. We know that they're out there now. And at the same time, you're going to see that it's an American soldier who comes back into their purview, and they're shocked because he's coming right from the ambush. This happened to us. It's one of the most frightening things, is to see one of your own men fleeing almost naked through the jungle, and throwing away his equipment and terrified of what he saw out there. It makes you want to run out of your foxhole and leave it. We're not superheroes here. This is a very frightening position because you're isolated from your other troop. You're only 2 men in a foxhole. First of all, that's very low. You should be like 3, 4 men. And you're lonely. And you're scared. You don't know what's out there. That's Corey Glover. He became a lead singer of the Living Colour. Very, very sweet voiced young man. Plays a nice friend of Chris's called Francis in the movie. That's the sound, I believe, of mortars. It could be mortars or it could be flares popping. That empty, hollow thud was an interesting sound. Nothing. Silence. There goes another trip flare. And a claymore goes. It looks like. No, it's an American soldier. It's very confusing. That's the American soldier I was talking about. That's scary. He says, "Don't shoot, he's speaking English." You can see he's all lit by flares. Goes dark, goes light, goes dark. He comes in, he smashes somebody. Bloody. Like football injuries. Can't hear what he's saying, he's just screeching, he's terrified. There's a lot of rumor like that. It hits the radio, guys come up, they tell you stuff. Should I get out of there? Now, Charlie displays a hell of a lot of courage here, sticking in and out. Tendency to want to be the split. There, you see the NVA over there. He blows his claymores. He blows them maybe too fast. He blows all 3. Puts out a lot of fire. Now he's revealed his position, though. Nice tracers on those. Tracer effects are very expensive for us. We try to use them sparingly. They got spotted. You can see that. They got some kind of concussion grenade, I think. Knocked the shit out of him. It's a good shot. Knocked the shit out of him, but he's okay. But they've been spotted. They know where the bunker is. There's a whistle. Something weird's going on. There must be more men. See the flares bouncing off the trees there. Great shadow effects. NVA on a loudspeaker. That's even more terrifying to the mind. I can't say I ever heard it myself. He knows they're in the hole and they should get out because they're going to get blown. Figures there's an RPG rocket coming in on him. This is a great shot getting out of it. Look at the way he distorts in the shadows. But he's smart to get out. You don't want to be in a hole once you've been spotted when they got heavy, superior firepower on you. And there it goes. That's an RPG. I shot that shot. I stood right in there with a glass shield and did it. That was great. Blew the whole bunker. That is scary. RPGs were dangerous. This is a little melodramatic, granted. Charlie goes nuts. He goes storming back into the NVA, sweeping over the hole. Charlie goes right out there and takes him on. It is John Wayne. I can't say I was even close to that. But he's incensed. He's on another planet right now. And Francis shares it. He gets swept up in it, and they go in there. And not only does he go back into the hole, but Charlie goes nuts and goes down the hill and after the NVA. He's gone. He's gone. He's out of his mind. It's possible. In another position, Bunny is out of He's down to his last shells. He's got a shotgun. Junior's freaked out. He's really scared. Bunny's gone. Junior wants out. And here he goes. I don't blame him. But it's dark, and he runs right into a fucking tree. Knocks himself out. Bunny gets it. Right in the chest. And so does Junior. That's the bayonet. They were hand-to-hand that night on the bunker, on the perimeter. So shovels were used. It was down to the wire. C Company was entrenching tools were used. This is Barnes. He's fired a shoulder rocket, and he's trying to retake the perimeter. There's McGinley. Sergeant O'Neill is scared, and he buries himself underneath a dead body, and he's missed. The NVA sweep past him, and they leave him for dead, and he makes it. So reluctantly, I stepped in as the major. Played as a younger me. I look so much younger, but about the right age for a major. In the bunker, Central Command. There's my staff sergeant. He's big, fat drunk. And the NBA are in the perimeter. You can see they got in, as they did that night. And they have a satchel charge, and he's a suicide mission. There he goes. And there I go. Oh, that's a big one. Their major's bunker is gone. This is amazing. The captain is stunned. He is now on his own. Central Command is disorganized. This is a platoon sergeant. They're all confused. That's a lieutenant. Everything's breaking down. Chaos. Disorder. They don't know who's alive, who's dead. Lieutenant is stunned to hear that Barnes may be dead, so he doesn't have any support from his staff NCO. He has to make his own decision. He's lost. He wants to pull back. The captain tells him, what are you going to pull back to? That's a good point. This is an amazing shot lit by flare. You see quite a huge perimeter. Staging of action. Simultaneous. Artillery, flare, NVA overrunning here. This is a little, quite big shot. It's overdone. They didn't overrun it quite this way. They'd be further apart, but you wouldn't be able to get it on film. They'd be all over the place. So I had to concentrize the perimeter, make more bodies visible than would be normally in a battle. Here's a great shot too, fairly big. Looks like Civil War almost. The captain is beside himself, and he is going to call in his airstrike on his perimeter. He has no choice.
For the record, it's my call. Dump everything you've got left on my pods. I say again, expend all remaining in my perimeter. It's a lovely fucking war. Bravo 6 out.
So they're coming down now. I think it'd be a Phantom or... yeah. Here they come out of the sky. This is a process shot. We had a flyover by this is an actual jet from Philippine Air Force. And Barnes is really into it. He's got his entrenching tool, and he is taking it on. He's insane. He gets shot in the thigh, keeps going, and is saved here, actually, by Charlie, who comes roaring down into his foxhole. Charlie's gone nuts, too. But Barnes doesn't seem to even know what's going on. He goes right back to work, grabs another NVA, and starts killing him. Charlie yells for Barnes, trying to help him, Where is he? Barnes doesn't pay any attention. Just could be an NVA, doesn't know the difference, goes for him. There's it. That's the war right in his eyes. And Charlie is saved by his own airplanes. Bomb goes off on the perimeter, blasts Barnes out of there, blasts the whole damn perimeter, takes it to hell. Both sides. Went to an early form of black and white here and brought back the color as Charlie's consciousness returned. That dawn was miraculous to us on the perimeter, those of us who'd survived. And I remember the concept of somehow the deer being there, that I would wake and there would be a deer, some sign of fresh life out there. It's the first thing he'd see. getting that Filipino deer to do anything was tough. They don't have many deer out there. The next morning was probably the most vivid for me, because we went out and there must have been 500, 700 dead North Vietnamese. We put them into pits with mass graves, and we had about 25 dead and 175 wounded of our own. So about 200 guys went down out of 600, 700. Significant casualty rate that night. So Charlie's tracking Barnes. He owes him one.
Get me a medic. Go on, boy.
No hesitation.
Do it.
He did it. I never shot my sergeant, so rest assured that my feelings were such that I would have shot Lieutenant Calley if I could have. Men who massacred the people at My Lai. But I think that Charlie is acting out of retribution, really, for what he did to Elias. And I think Charlie is bitten off a fairly large responsibility by that action. Once you become a killer like that, it haunts you for the rest of your life. We had guys, of course, like the APC units were notorious for being dirty and for being having a lot of Nazi memorabilia and for scalping VC and NVA. So they would come up and support us. We were infantry. They were a little different than us, and they were certainly out there. Here's a guy who's stabbing himself in the thigh because he about had it, and I don't blame him. I mean, a lot of guys did that.
Yeah, that must have been some fucking fight.
It was rough. The sergeant, the cowardly sergeant, Bert Lahr, made it out of there.
Bunch of fucking faggots, they all left me.
Here's a guy who just took an ear. These guys are scalping. Well, here's Raw. He made it through with his walking stick. He's walking around, checking out the bodies, getting scavenging. 25th Infantry there, you see that? You find something. Looks like either opium or heroin off an NVA soldier. These are the mass graves that we buried him in. He's going out on morphine. That's Charlie. Good shot. You get a sense of the bodies and the movement. Moving towards the exit, the helicopter's taking him out. There's Dale Dye. It's a true moment for Dale. That's where his feelings come out about his troops and his losses. Francis made it. He didn't think so.
Hey, Francis. Hey, man, how you doing? Okay. How you doing? Fine, man. Just fine. Hey, dig it. We two-timers, man. We gonna get out of here, boy. I'm gonna see you in the hospital. We gonna get a high. Yes,
Twice
sir.
wounded. You're out. For at least that. I was out for a while, then I went back in at my own volition. Meanwhile, the cowardly sergeant, because there's nobody left, now inherits 2nd Platoon. Which means that inevitably he will, too, probably meet his match. There goes Francis. There goes Chris. And we're out of here. Thank God. It was sad. You say goodbye to your friends, and last time you see most of them, you're out of there. You're gone. Come back, they're either dead or gone themselves. It was a very fractured business. I remember looking out of that helicopter as I went away. January 15, actually. This is not, I didn't go away at this battle, but I went after this. There's Ra. Giving him his Nietzsche trip. Ult to power. Decided to go quiet here. Great shot of the chopper. Dust and light glinting off it. Slow-mo. A lot of dust in the chopper blades. A lot of dead. There's Samuel Barber. Sort of sums it up. Elegy. Good tree. Wiping that pit.
I think now, looking back, we did not fight the enemy. We fought ourselves. And the enemy was in us. The war is over for me now, but it will always be there, the rest of my days. As I'm sure Elias will be, fighting with Barnes for what Ra called possession of my soul. There are times since I've felt like the child born of those two fathers. But be that as it may, those of us who did make it have an obligation to build again, to teach to others what we know, and to try with what's left of our lives to find a goodness and meaning to this life.
There is no enemy. The enemy is in you. I hadn't seen this in a while. I missed it from the 40s movies, so I wanted to pay a little tribute to the actors because it's hard to remember every name. So many male faces in them. And this was a little special thing for me. These guys really worked. They really went through that basic training in the jungle, and put up with a lot of hard days and nights. But they bonded, and they were a platoon. We shot the whole thing in the Philippines in about 60 days. It was having heard all the stories about the Francis Coppola went through with Apocalypse Now. We really tried to get in and out as fast as we could. So we shot around, we shot hard, we shot grueling hours and made it in and out. We came in on budget. In the editing, we had no problem. We cut the couple of We cut within a few months, and everyone who read or saw the film immediately reacted to it. It wasn't like a lot of refinements went on, changes in the editing. It was smooth. And it was just the mood in the country. There was a great mood to receive another truth about Vietnam. It certainly was a long time coming. 1986, the last men really left in 71, 2, and 3. It was 15, 20 years. And picture not only swept the United States, but it swept the world, which was amazing. The world picked up on it. And it was a tremendous respect for the veteran. And it was a long time coming.